Hey there, fellas. Alright, so in today's episode, we've got this... We've rolled out the Lada pickup. We fitted it with a trunk lid. Well, I mean, we placed it there just for the hell of it, and it looks pretty neat. Now, you might recall how a couple of years ago we sourced a bit of plastic pipe, made rings, and stuffed some tires into them. Then we put those wheels on a Lada and drifted around the test track, which was quite a lot of fun. That said, there were a couple of drawbacks to all of that. First of all, it was a bit pricey, and second, it wasn't long before the plastic wore out. No surprises there with how heavy a car is, and how much the rear end gets loaded up. Anyway, so this idea occurred to us. We were visiting a scrap metal yard for something totally unrelated, and check out what we found. Some lovely metal bends. We tried piecing them together, and it so happened that when we do that and they come together, they form a wheel. A nice old metal wheel, which I expect to have limited grip, but I also think it won't be as prone to wear. Okay, now I suggest we make a couple of these and see what comes out of it. Let's do this. Wait, have you seen our new Freddy-style t-shirt? If not, hit the link in the description. If you're still here, you should know that aside from a new t-shirt, we offer a lot of other different merch, bearing the Garage 54 logo. Past payment issues have been solved, and now you can send payment for your order even via PayPal. So if you'd like to treat yourself, a friend, or a relative to some awesome Garage 54 merch, hit the link in the description to head on over to our shop. And don't forget to use the promo code for a solid discount. Now back to the video. We do a moose test on metal wheels. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Okay, fellas, here's the situation. The four metal bends came together to form a wheel that is not light by any means. From the looks of it, you'd think that we've mounted it. But as a matter of fact, we cut the wheel on one side and welded on the donut. You know what? It actually looks pretty good. I suggest we try the following. The exercise is called a moose test. So a moose test is when you attempt a maneuver at... What's the maximum speed anyway? As fast as you can go? We're only going about 60 Ks, though you can go 100 if you want. Nah man, this thing won't do 100. 40 to 50 kilometers an hour seems way more realistic. 60 if I'm able to. Anyways, so the exercise itself is simple enough, and we're gonna be kicking this off on regular tires. After that, we're also gonna do a brake test, see how well it's able to do that. We'll mark the stopping distance with a cone or a tire, and after that, we're gonna take these lovely donuts, fit them to the front axle, and do another round of testing. Of course, there will be some drifting later on, but before we get to that, we'll try them out on the front axle. Let's do this. Okay guys, the first test is a simple one. We've marked a corridor, we've got cones set 5 meters apart from each other. I'm gonna be accelerating to 40 Ks, and once I reach the first cones, I'm gonna slam the brakes. Now I won't be trying to imitate an anti-lock system. I am just gonna press the pedal, and we're gonna evaluate the braking distance from 40. Now one important thing to note is that we have disconnected the brakes in the rear. That'll leave us with just the fronts. The idea is to make for a more adequate comparison between these and the ones made out of metal. Okay, now I'm gonna back up, get up to 40, and stop. Let's do this. Okay, that's 40. They're spaced 5 meters apart, yeah? Okay, so that's less than 10 meters. Isn't it supposed to be like 8 meters anyway? Oh, no more than 6, you say? Well, considering the brakes only work up front, it seems about right even. Let's call it maybe 9 meters? Oh wow, I braked early judging by the mark. By about a meter. Okay, we'll call it 10. Okay, so on regular tires, the braking distance from 40 Ks is about 10 meters. That's with only the front brakes working. Okay, now I suggest we go to the moose test. So even with the car in this sort of state, that's 40. Then again, you know what? Didn't hit any cones. And I really thought I would. 40. Yeah, we're good. It's performing very well at 40. Now let's try 60. Nope. It ain't happening, guys. That's 60. Almost even made it. Let's put the metal wheels on now. We didn't do very well at 60, but now let's see how the metal wheels perform at 40. I mean, we can keep practicing all the livelong day until we run out of gas. Okay, we've mounted the donuts. We're running steel wheels up front. And so now I'll go ahead and get the car up to 40 once again, do another brake test, after which we'll continue with the evasive maneuvers. Let's do this. Those noises. Oh, holy cow. That's sound coming from the wheels. Whoa, where's it taking me? Holy cow. It's like driving on ice on summer tires. The way it slid forward, man. So the stopping distance on regular tires was 10 meters, and this is more like 35. Hey, I mean, on pavement, steel is gonna behave exactly like this. It's just gonna slide. Okay, now it's time for the moose test. How fast should we go? I reckon 20 kilometers an hour is a good place to start. Okay, let's go place the cones. I'm also a bit flustered. I think we should try this at 20 instead of 40. Oh, come on, 40 is way more fun. Well, you're right about that. I mean, there's plenty of room if something goes wrong. That's 40. I honestly didn't want to hit them cones, but there was nothing I could do. Well, I somewhat successfully navigated the first turn, but after that, things didn't quite go according to plan. I need to try that again. Wow, look at how far off I was. By how much I missed the mark. By an entire lane. It transitioned at the start, but I couldn't get it back on track. Because you had the wheel at full lock. You tried, but... Well, yeah, I did have the wheel turned. I didn't have any grip. Try getting back on center. Wait, what? I mean, try straightening it out. That might be a good place to start. So you basically turn, then you dial it back. Try it out. Okay, so I turn. I wasn't even sure it'd turn initially, but it did. Yeah, neither was I, but indeed it did. Yep. I wasn't sure at all that it'd be able to turn. It's not happening. Doesn't want to get back on track. I mean, it did stick to the initial path, but then again, you know, when I turned and then straightened the wheel out right away, it actually seemed to have done better than the first time around. That said, it transitioned one way, but the second transition back was just not happening. That became, like, immediately apparent to me. You want to maybe show us how it's done? It's a manual, right? Okay, I'm off. It's a DSG, bro. How fast do you want me to go, 40? Yeah, 40. The speedometer is a bit wonky, but you can sort of work out the average. All right. This is gonna be fun. Oh wow, holy cow. What do you know? This guy has some serious skill. Dude, that was awesome. Really? I couldn't see myself. Say what? I said I couldn't see myself. Well, obviously you couldn't. I think you did a great job. I mean, you were 30 millimeters away from hitting that cone, but still. You did well. You saw what happened. It wasn't easy, especially when the door popped open. Also, did you see me double turn? I turned once, then I turned again. That's how you do it. Double turn? If you turn the wheel and keep it there, you're gonna wash out. Even on regular tires. Oh wow, holy cow. So you turn, then you dial it back. You reduce the steering angle. This is so easy to turn. Now you wanna try it? Okay, go for it. It was doing this sort of dance. Yeah, it'll do that. That was fun. You see that? He had the same grip on the wheel, but that's totally normal. We steer with our eyes. We look at where we want to go and just hold the wheel in that direction. But the car is going to continue to plow forward. You might have noticed that we've welded on some bungs. The point of that being to be able to fill the wheel with water in order to make it heavier and do the steering and braking exercises all over again. See what sort of effect you get when you change the weight of the wheel. Yeah, let's give it a try. I don't think anything is going to change. Okay, so you predict nothing is going to happen. Yeah, I think nothing is going to change. Okay, what do you guys think? I mean, perhaps in the back they're going to stay cool when full of water. Oh, you want to keep them cool? What an awesome idea. Anyway, let's pour in some water and see what changes. What do you guys think is going to happen? Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments down below. I think there will be an effect. Alright, so we've poured some water into the donuts, about 27 liters into each one of them. That means each wheel has gotten heavier by about 27 kilograms. Okay, hopefully this works exceptionally well. I really wasn't even trying, honestly. It even feels different just setting off. Who said nothing is gonna change? It is having a much more difficult time setting off. Yeah, there you go. He's gonna hold the wheel and wash out again. He should learn to dial it back. One left. Why doesn't it want to get back on track? You keep holding the wheel after the transition. What you need to do is try getting to the middle, oversteering, and then pulling it back. We'll be able to see what he does. Come on, pull it back. There you go, as soon as you pull it back... Oh wow! I actually made it. Who said it's not gonna change anything? Honestly, it steers completely different. Go ahead and try it yourself, Alex. It's a totally different experience, I'm telling you. Okay, awesome. Let's see what happens. His trajectory is the same. Exactly like on the empty wheels. The trajectory was bang on. Let's ask him what he thinks. Well, I made it, but I'm still not quite sure. The initial turn-in felt great. Yeah, it's way more eager to turn. The first transition was easier, but I made a mistake on the second one. To me, it looked like you navigated that perfectly, like same as last time. I was in it for too long. It didn't want to turn at first. So you think nothing changed? Well, there might be less vibration now. That's true, it's not as noisy. And the wheels aren't jumping around as much. With all of that weight, yeah. But the result? You think it steers the same. I didn't feel a big difference. The acceleration is definitely worse. Oh, with all of that extra weight, of course. Almost. Yeah, he almost made it. Look at that. He even shut the door after it opened. Good thing he didn't step out. You've punctured the tire. Are you for real, dude? Always breaking whatever we give him. Are you people seeing this? I mean, how do you even puncture a metal tire? That's water, see? For crying out loud. Now there's the matter of testing the stopping distance. It's honestly hard to say. Your previous distance is marked by the cone. This time it veered to the right. And I slid onto the coarser pavement. There you go. Okay, so here's what's up. This is where I stopped the first time around. This time I went a bit further. And all because of the weight. You're free to try it out if you like. Come on, don't be like that, give it a try. Get up to 40. Exactly 40? Yeah, exactly 40. $30 meters. Wait, are you trying to say that I'm that heavy? Am I really that heavy? Do I add so much inertia to the car? I don't know, perhaps. That's why you should always do it 3 times. Or even 4, and then you work out the average. Well, yeah, because there are a lot of factors at play. Okay, let's see. 35. No, it's still... What? It was doing 40 and change. Dude, it was only a tiny bit more. You ain't fooling anybody. Like 45. Come on, it was 42 tops. Quit talking nonsense. Okay, so where does that bring us then? The water has made the moose test a tad easier, even if it was just a tiny bit. Still, I could definitely feel it. There was a slight difference. As for the braking distance, well, the car got heavier and that definitely increased it. And it wasn't a tiny increase either. It was like by about a car's length. Okay, now what do we do? I think we should do what we intended to in the first place. This video began with me remembering that time when we put plastic rings onto the tires and drifted around. It was a lot of fun, but they did wear down quite rapidly. Now, the entire point of making these metal wheels was to see what happens with them in the rear, in terms of grip, how the car initiates a drift, and whether the engine has a hard time. Will the car be manageable? Will it accelerate well in a drift? We are about to see. Alright, let's do this. Slap those wheels onto the rear axle and do a bit of drifting. While it drives all right in a straight line, that's a good start. I'm going to be taking it easy for the time being. I'll start by turning while applying light throttle. Literally all I did was turn the steering wheel. Like, that's all I did. There weren't any clutch kicks involved, or anything else like that. Honestly, it is impossible to control. That is way too much. That is a lot of inertia. I can drive along while pressing the gas pedal, turn the wheel, and do that. The car immediately spins out. No problem whatsoever. I can easily do donuts. What I don't like is the racket it's making. That is some cool spinny action, but it is really quick to spin out. Did you have fun? Oh yeah, cool stuff, eh? But it gets away from you before you know it. Did you try just driving and then doing a quick turn? Yeah, right in the very beginning. The back end steps out right away. True that. Okay, so we've decided to have another go while letting the water drip out from the wheels, to make them a bit lighter. And let's go. Watch your hands. It's making it into the cabin. That's quite a fountain. Immediately, I can feel that it's not under so much strain. It is much lighter on its feet. That is one hell of a fountain. A bit of gas and we're good. I am not getting dizzy quite yet. But I have gotten a bit wet. Check that out. It is so eager to slide around. And without all of that inertia, it is reacting much better to throttle input. Yeah, very nice. Also, it is much less of a handful now. It has gotten so much better. I am getting sprayed with water, but no worries. Nice. I really enjoyed that. It was all good, but the wheels are coming loose because of the vibration. Hey, I mean, what can you do? That's obviously a weak point of these. They're vulnerable to vibration. And so there you have it. We've tried stopping from a couple of different speeds. And yeah, weight very much plays a factor. Whenever you add weight, it's gonna affect your stopping distance, even if it's not that drastic of an increase. And so now after we've driven around with these wheels in the back, well, they are wearing down, of course, but not as quick as the plastic rings. Which isn't to say that there aren't any disadvantages. So when we stuffed those tires into the plastic rings, they didn't have a ton of grip. The car was very tail-happy on pavement. The problem was the rapid wear. Steel isn't that prone to wear, but we did get some really nasty vibration. We also noticed that with the heavy rear wheels, there was a lot of inertia. The engine was having quite a rough time spinning up the water-filled wheels. But then we removed the plugs and carried on driving. I could literally feel how the wheels were becoming lighter, and how the engine was becoming less taxed. No need for any clutch kicks. You just press the gas, and the car does what you tell it to. Maintain a drift, flip around, do some donuts, with no trouble whatsoever. Anyway, guys, there you have it. That was great. This one is definitely worth trying. It's not a hard one to pull off by any means. The problem is that they are not going to let you use these on just any parking lot. But if you can find one, go ahead and try this out. Without having to wait for the winter, this will give the uninitiated some idea of how a car behaves when going sideways on an icy surface. And that's all I got for you. Watch us, subscribe, send in your suggestions, comment, give us a big thumbs up. All right, catch you later. Should we keep going? What do you mean until the wheels fall off? Always looking to break something.